Good evening, everyone. Microphone check. Tonight I'm talking to you about the One Laptop Per Child project. That's a very literal, pictorial translation of their name. It's a key point is that every child gets their own laptop. They don't have to share. The overall mission is to empower the world's poorest children through education, education being one of those factors that enables individual determination, which is quite an important sort of topic in today's Indigenous politics. There have been rollouts of the OLPC all around the world, every continent, even the continents that we wouldn't think of as particularly poor. And you'll notice both Australia and New Zealand there. Very typical teaching pedagogy is for the supervisor to lead the students. Something that's very core to the OLPC project is that the students help each other. That is the worldwide teaching principle. It's a little bit different in Australia. In Australia, the teachers still help supervise the kids using and learning with the OLPCs. My involvement with the OLPC stuff started with Linux conferences. One of the things that OLPC has done is seeded some of the OLPCs to Linux conferences in order to get some developers interested in writing some work for them. Onto the hardware, the famous green laptop. They're waterproof, they're dustproof, they don't consume much power, they've got those funny little green ears. They're really designed for kids to bash around with them. This picture highlights the screen technology. They're very good in outdoor situations in full sunlight. So they're great for outdoor learning and they're great for excursions. The little ears are actually very important. They allow a type of network connectivity called mesh networking. So each of the laptops can talk to each other without any external hardware. So they can have a network within the classroom wherever they are. And this is a prototype of what the next version might look like. It's basically a very touchscreen tablet form. So onto the software. The software is radically different to what we are used to on the desktop software. We're writing software for people who've never touched a computer before, and most of them don't yet know how to read and write. It's much closer to a phone software setup, where instead of having individual applications that have hundreds of features, you've got numerous little apps, which are called activities in OLPC parlance, and kind of different to a regular phone. All the activities interact with each other. Something which I'm personally very for is digital literacy, and the OLPC comes with a range of activities that actually let the kids program the OLPC, so they're not just using the programs that are there. The software on the OLPC is called Sugar, and you can get that on a USB stick and use that in any computer. Now I want to look at the Australian context of the OLPC. They're almost exclusively used in Indigenous communities around Australia. And as we'll see in a moment, you can see that most of the rollouts happen in rural areas. Most Indigenous communities that are in urban environments have actually caught up, and there's very little gap there. The problems really exist in the rural communities. This is an Australian-specific activity. It's only found on OLPCs in Australia. It is called Music Paint, and it lets the kids create and edit music collaboratively. So they can all hack on a track in a group. I'm also quite involved here at the Edge, the lovely venue we've got here tonight. And you can see there the bays that we've got alongside the building. Now, the typical way that these get used is somebody comes in, they've got to do some work, they find a free bay, they sit down, and that tends to happen. Everyone sort of goes in, sitting on their own, doing their own thing, not really aware of other people doing stuff. Right next door, there could be someone with similar interests, complementary interests, skills and talents, but they won't know about it. So what I'm endeavouring to do is to have an OLPC on each bay and hopefully improve the collaboration at the Edge. Thanks.